You're not special. This one cop, he got so mad at me, a SkyTrain cop. Oh, God, they can go off. He yelled at me, "You're not special." I said, "How many people have you had to say that to today?" "You're the first one." "I guess that makes me special." He didn't like that at all, eh? He went off. He started to get mad. He said, "What makes you think you're special?" "God told me." Guess he doesn't talk to you, does he? I think it's not that you're not special, he just can't get through. He didn't like this. He thought he'd try to play with me logic-wise. And so he tried to get me in the corner kind of thing, eh? So you hear voices when no one else is around and you respond to those voices like they're authority. Is that it? I looked at him, I said, "Nice radio." It's a thinking joke. They're all just people. They're really trying to do their best. Without them, we'd be flippin' hooped, wouldn't we? And my point is this. Never, ever judge a cop until you've walked a mile in his boots. Because that way you're a mile away, and you've got his boots. I saw all these women, they were taking pictures of themselves in the mirror with their camera. And this made me very sad because I realized not only did they not have anyone to take a picture of them for them, they couldn't figure out the automated timer. That was really sad to me. I got a letter from this guy. He was a doctor. He had gone through like 9 years of post-secondary education. Got this letter, said, "Please help me with this. They want all sorts of money." I looked at it, and I was shaking my head. I'm going, "Oh, man, we've lost. There's no hope for any of us." Right at the top, your loan. This guy couldn't take 2 words, put them together, figure out where does the liability lie, who has the power. They used these words for a reason. When these lawyers, dude, I'll tell you this, lawyers might be sneaky, but they never make mistakes when it comes to assigning liability for loans. They don't make these mistakes. They do not put commas in the wrong place. They know exactly what they're doing. When they refer to it as your loan, what is the word your? It's identifying ownership. The word loan, it's either a noun or a verb, but either way it's yours, and they just can't get it in their brain that your loan means you are the lender. And this is where they hide it right in plain sight. And when you see it, man, oh, it's such a beautiful thing. It's not that they lent you money, you lent them a promissory note. Now you're in the position of power, and all you've got to do is go forgive them their debt. Oh, just forgive them. But nobody wants to do that, and they hide it right in plain sight. How can you go to a doctor who has a student loan where it says your loan, and he can't take the word your and loan and put it together and see where his remedy lies? And you know what the big problem is? I think a lot of it has to do not just with politics, but with religion as well. I believe very strongly in a higher loving power. I believe that we're supposed to treat each other with brotherhood and dignity. But this whole concept of Christians and Muslims and Jewish people all hating each other, that to me is absolutely ludicrous, okay? I think what those 3 groups should do, they should join together, join forces, then pick on the Buddhists. We can take them. Holy crap, man, they're fat, they're slow. Yeah, we could actually all come together by wiping the world out of Buddhists, because that's where the problems come from. It's Buddhists and Green Gardeners. Some of these SkyTrain cops, you could be riding down a bike path. This happened to a buddy of mine. Well, parts of it. I'm embellishing some of it. I'll let you decide which parts that are. You could be riding down a bike path, minding your own business, whistling to yourself the prayer of St. Francis. Butterflies are circling your head. Doves are lighting upon your shoulder, cooing in your ear. On an overcast day, the lone sunbeam is following you down the path. Nothing but peace and tranquility spreading from you, and these cops will jump out at you, slam you to the ground, bounce your head off the pavement because you're not wearing a helmet. Apparently not wearing a helmet, that's a breach of the peace. And this is what really pisses me off about these people. They'll come out and they'll claim, oh, I'm a peace officer. I'm a peace officer. Now I'm enforcing this policy. And if you question them on their enforcement of this policy, suddenly you questioning them as a policy enforcement officer means you're spitting in the eye of a peace officer. They approach you as a policy enforcement officer. They charge you as a peace officer. We need our own police. Who here thinks the police need to be policed? Psh, come on, by noise, make applause for the microphone. Who thinks the police need to be policed? That's what I think. Because the moment you got that, and in the Criminal Code of Canada, anyone can be a peace officer. Anyone here could hire me, provided I wasn't been drinking tonight, and say, Rob, I want you to be a peace officer. I want you to preserve, maintain the public peace. At that point, I could stand up, say, yes, I'm a peace officer. If the policy enforcement officer came and tried to stop me from doing it, he's the guy who's interfering with the peace officer. And it's just getting so much easier nowadays to get people into a position where they automatically accept that someone has authority over them. And they do it, they use Santa Claus. I've had emails where people have written to me, and it's funny, I get emails from people saying, oh, I think you're a superhero. And I'm like, no, I'm just a loudmouth asshole who refuses to accept orders. But then I realized maybe I am a superhero, because I have superpowers. I use them for good. I have a superhero costume. I wear it under my normal street clothes all the time. I'm ready to go at any time, man. That's right, folks. I am Naked Man. This represents my bum. This doesn't. Okay, I'll be honest for you. There, you happy?
The government has been hijacked. It has been hijacked by corporations. You are no longer a citizen of a country. You are, in fact, an employee of a corporation. Statutes are not laws. They are merely policies of the corporation. You must distinguish.
Here's part of the problem. The heart of the problem, as Justice Breyer on the U.S. Supreme Court explained in 1998, is, quote, the complexity of modern federal criminal law codified in several thousand sections of the United States Code, and the virtually infinite variety of factual circumstances that might trigger an investigation into a possible violation of the law, make it difficult for anyone to know in advance just when a particular set of statements might later appear to a prosecutor to be relevant to some investigation. One expert on criminal law recently noted that estimates of the current size of the body of federal criminal law vary, although it has been reported that the Congressional Research Service can no longer even count the current number of federal crimes. That's right, even the federal government has lost count. These laws are scattered over all 50 pages of the U.S. Code, encompassing roughly 27,000 pages. Worse yet, these statutes often incorporate by reference to the provisions of administrative regulations. Estimates of how many such regulations exist are even less well settled, although the ABA thinks there may be nearly 10,000. Here's one of those 10,000 federal criminal statutes on the book that you probably never heard about. It's called the Lacey Act. 16 U.S.C. Section 3370 says it's a federal offense for any person to import, export, transport, sell, receive, acquire, or purchase any fish or wildlife or plant taken, possessed, transported, or sold in the violation of any law, treaty, or regulation of the United States, or any Indian tribal law, or any state, or any foreign law. People have been convicted in federal court for violating this statute because they brought back a bony fish from Honduras, not knowing that Honduran law, not American, but Honduran law, forbade the possession of the bony fish. People have been convicted under this law because they were found in possession of what's called a short lobster, a lobster that's under a certain size. Some states forbid you from possessing a lobster if he's under a certain length. It doesn't matter if he's dead or alive. It doesn't matter if you killed it or if you died of natural causes. It doesn't even matter if you acted in self-defense. Did you know that? Did you know it can be a federal offense to be in possession of a lobster? Admit it. Raise your hand if you did not know that. There's the problem.
I cannot talk that fast. Not even interviewing. I'm going to take the podium.